Okay. So I think we are live. Let's see. I want to make sure we are live. Everybody, give me a moment if you're watching. I think we are live because I just got a notification. And we are.
Oh,
All right, y'all. Those that are watching, we are live. Me and Bryant.
hey.
Let's call this an extended lyric talk tonight.
Okay.
If you guys are up to it, we might do these more often, just talking about albums and their release and going through and giving these reviews. I'm gonna say a review, but it might not be more so a review, but more so just a discussion because I'm already intrigued by the title. Church Church girls love Airbnb, but Airbnb, R&B. Get it together, Titus. I guess this is what's happening when you're on vacation. You just start getting
That's
more
right.
tongue twisted because you just chillaxing.
Yeah.
So y'all,
Right.
we gonna discuss these lyrics tonight and just the vibe of this entire album as we get into it. Let me see. All right, so last week Brian introduced me to Jordan Armstrong. That was my first time actually knowing or hearing his name and listen to. I did listen to his last album. Well, maybe not his last album, but Blessed.
Yeah, that's kind of his last album, really.
Really?
Kind of his
Okay.
last main project.
But he's been releasing singles. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yep.
Okay. So he's been releasing singles, and it was interesting because I saw um one of my friends doing like it's not a cover, but uh Jordan Armstrong had a song called Emotions, right?
Yeah.
From the newest album, and I guess there's some type of TikTok or some type of challenge going around where you can write a second verse to Emotions. And we had already planned to do this, but I thought it was interesting because my friend was actually doing the challenge. I was like, I'm gonna have to go back and maybe do the challenge after we do this review because I was like, huh, just interested by it is all. So let's get into the first song. Or did you have any words before we press play for this first song?
You know what, Titus? I'm glad to be here tonight on this extended exclusive episode of Lyric Talk. I do have some biographical information about Jordan
Go for it.
Armstrong to kind of give people a context of who this young man is. And this is all coming from allmusic.com. They're saying that Jordan Armstrong is a contemporary gospel artist whose sound is in line with commercial R&B. The Baton Rouge native entered the music industry in a behind-the-scenes capacity as a writer of secular material. Since 2009, he's been building a discography that contains the Billboard chart and releases Confident 2016, and then Blessed, which came out in 2018. He had a single that came out in 2021 called My God. He had albums including Confident, Champion. He had a mixtape called, I think it was Fashion. It was Jesus Fashion and something else, but that was a pretty interesting. That was a pretty interesting mixtape. This guy is over talented and gifted to bridge the worlds of R&B and gospel together for those of us who are not churchy, or those of us that are churchy, but we love R&B. And that's why a part of the reason why I think his album is called Church Girls Love R&B. So I'm excited to dive into this first listen to his new album that came out last Friday.
Absolutely. I'm intrigued as well. So let's get into the first song. And for those that don't know, we have to uh, stop and start these songs just for YouTube, Facebook, and know that we're not using these to infringe on any type of songwriter or artist, but we're using this as a way to discuss, educate, and just do reviews on the albums. So here we go. Let's get into the first song, which I believe is Keisha. All right, let's get into it. Oh my God, pick up. Pick up, girl, pick up.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, girl, what's up?
Keisha. Girl, this man.
What he done did now, girl?
I don't even know. Like, I'm so mad right now. Like, I want to, like,
What you mad for?
go and do something, like, stupid.
Girl, what he did now?
You already know what happened. He cheated on me again.
How you find it? You went through his phone?
No.
You saw a text message?
No, I didn't even have to go looking. The girl texted me.
The girl text you?
Yes.
You sure she just not playing on your phone?
No, she not.
Trolling nowadays. They just be trying to,
Just saying
mess up and have a home.
For real. I got all the proof I need.
You tired of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired of you.
I'm just tired.
He's cheating.
Are we starting drama already?
He just.
Oh, that was nice. That bass came in real good.
Are we starting drama already?
Starting that drama, and I like this. We're getting, ready to see why this album's called Church Girls Love Army. We got some drama where Keisha, she's found some text messages from her boyfriend, I guess who this is. And so she's calling her girlfriend to kind of vent and tell her what happened, get some advice, I guess.
So does he normally have these interludes on his albums?
Yeah, he has interludes. Yep, on his album, he has like different skits. He may have some music. And what's interesting too, which we didn't talk about, is that Jor'Dan Armstrong has done some production and writing for Kiara Sheard on her EP LED in 2017. I think it came out.
Okay.
It had to be 2015 because Graceland came out in 2014, so it had to be 2015 or 2016. But like he does this interesting interlude role play, sometimes it's comedic breath of fresh air.
Comedic. I think that's the first time I've ever heard that word. I know what it means, but the way you said it. All right, cool. So that's the first track at the gate. He's already setting it up. All right, so let's get into the first song. Looks like it's the official first song, Wrongs. Here we go.
First you told me that you love me, and I told you to. Never felt love quite the right way, till it came from you. And I know I let you down. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay, so I first of all, like the production, I'm already, I've been having these listening opportunities, I call them, where I'm noticing that people are starting to do this production style to where the sound is far off and then it actually comes in.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess that's a new trend, huh? Or maybe that's the thing to do. Maybe not.
It may, and I don't know. I think Titus, that it gives that feel of we're in the car and the music is bumping, and it may be something that a car is bumping their music really loud and they're driving by, but it always gives me that nostalgic feeling of when I grew up, like as a kid, listening to R&B and hip hop. Like I could hear it, or I'm in my room listening to R&B and hip hop. And then outside the room, my grandma's like, "Hey, turn that down," and then she could hear it from outside of the room. So I like that. I like that effect. Excuse me. I like that effect as well.
I know, right? The effect of it all is really, 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 really cool. Another thing I wanted to say was, in writing this song, the way that he's already, let me say it like this, the way that he's already placing these tracks, like the order, it has to be intentional.
Yeah.
Because, you're going from Keisha already, which is the drama, and then it almost sounds like he's getting ready to start talking about his wrongs. Or, I am trying to listen to the lyrics as we go, because I did try to find the lyrics, and they haven't really been all the way released yet.
Yeah, I'm looking at that too.
So I did go to genius.com, and some of them were not released yet. So we're we're playing this by ear. We had agreed to say we're not gonna listen to it. We're
Right.
just gonna give it, give it this first run.
But I feel I like the production too, and I think I have to add on to what you asked, like who is being wrong, because it seems like he just said he hadn't felt love like this, but he also told somebody that he loved them, or I don't have to listen to it again, but it's like
Let's go back.
he told somebody, or he told two people. I didn't really catch it.
Let's go back. Here we go.
First you told me that you love me, and I told you to. Never felt love quite the right way, till it came from you, and I know I let you down. Yeah, I know.
So he's having a conversation.
Yeah, he did something wrong.
Like, you told me that you love me.
And I told you
right?
too.
Right. And then now it seems like he's getting ready to go that I made the mistake. But let's continue.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, I can't say I didn't want ya. For all I put you through, I never meant to do. Now all I ask is take your time with me, 'cause I know I've been away too long. I'm just trying to right my wrongs.
Yeah, I like it.
It is. Do you think this album is about about relationships that he's been in?
Yeah, I think so, and I think like we don't talk enough. And I'm gonna be honest. Before I listened to this, like 2 weeks ago, I did read a little bit of his thoughts, so I don't want to make sure. I want to make sure I'm not like spoiling it for us in this experience.
No, go ahead.
I know he talked about some things about like how relationships, dating, it's not really talked about in church when we break up. What does breakup feel like? What does hurt feel like? What does betrayal feel like when you are in a relationship and you're getting to know someone, or you're in a dating relationship committed? So, I feel like those lyrics I don't know to answer your question, but I also feel like he has experienced some of this before, but in the context of a gospel album, he's laying a new groundwork. But I also feel like there's a double entendre. I feel like the chorus or the pre-chorus that he just sang, I feel like, and I know I'm pointing towards my excuse me, y'all, but what he just sang, it could be taken, he did someone wrong, but you did God wrong. You haven't talked to them. You've done them wrong. You turned your back on God. You turned your back on old girl too. So, without over spiritualizing it, like from face value, surface level, this is a good breakup kind of admission, almost like a Usher's confession. But this is Jor'Dan Armstrong's confession, 2022.
I think but the way he's setting it up, Brian, is like after Keisha, it's almost like he's already setting it up to say that this is me talking to another human being.
Right.
We can relate it to God for sure. But I think here's the thing. I feel like we become so religious. Let me say like this, at times, that when we try to be human, we still reverted back to God instead of just letting it be human.
Right.
Figuring out how to deal with the human side we are.
Yep, I agree. And that's why I said on face surface level, it is, and I agree with you, man. Like don't spiritualize things, but I feel like God can be found in the very mundane. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be, well, I'm not saved anymore. No, this is real life. And do we talk about these areas?
Right.
No, we don't.
Right.
I'm hurt. I cheated on a girl.
Absolutely. I think here's the thing though. That's why I feel like if we're going to take it scripture, let's talk about the scripture where it says you can be so spiritual that you're not earthly good.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything is not a God thing. Some of us life application principles and things that we have to walk through in order just to be better.
Yeah.
So I think in this analogy of what he's doing, he's if what you've read and found out to be true, then some of this album, since we haven't got all into it, could be I'm going to reflect on the human characteristics that you guys look at that make me flawed.
Yeah, yeah. Make me a man.
And I think that's excellent writing because I think Jonathan also does this too. Well, and then we talked about this a couple of weeks ago when we talked about Doe and her writing that song.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
Right. And I think to the point, especially people our age, I won't say our age, but people our age and people that been in church for a while, we're becoming, I want to say annoyed.
Most definitely. Yeah.
Annoyed with church music because it repeats the same thing. Like Jesus can fix it, Jesus will. And we know all that, right? We know all that. But I think we've been coming to say, what if Jesus can fix it, but he won't because he want us to.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I don't want to listen to gospel. I don't want to listen to gospel music. I don't listen to gospel music unless it's just like Jor'Dan Armstrong. Shout out to you, Jor'Dan, or if it's like something maybe Kiara Sheard is doing. So, but I'm not. The gospel music, it bores me, and I cannot relate to it really because it's not. A lot of the times, the lyrics I feel aren't very genuine. They're very churchy and they're very repeated and recycled. And I think
absolutely,
what you're saying is like I hear what you're saying. You tell me if this is a part of what you're saying, Titus, is that Jor'Dan Armstrong is stepping outside of that recycled, that cycle, the recycling cycle. And he's stepping out and doing something different that, church girls love R&B. Church girls up there, they shout and they're hurt. It's because old dude messed around or, whatever. So they love R&B.
Absolutely.
And what is R&B? Let's break that down. Rhythm and blues, talking about relationships, talking about love, talking about romance, talking about that. So, if that's anything, people are discounting the value of R&B in the music scene and in music in general when it comes to the Black, if I want to coin it, Black Christian experience or Black experience. R&B has a valid place in who we are as a people.
Absolutely.
And it's not anything foreign. It shouldn't be anything demonized. It should be anything that's other than. You can listen to gospel and R&B. You could do that. Nothing. You're no less spiritual. You're no less human by what you're hearing because you can relate to it or jam to it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna point. Takara said this. Some of us is out of touch with reality and need to be centered at times. And I totally agree. I feel like at times, I'll just say religion at times can make us seem like we're off in this la la land of things, so instead of actually applying principles and us putting in the work, we take our hands off and think everything is supposed to come together.
Nope.
And life does not work like that. So, and I think what you're saying is actually on point. I think Jor'Dan is taking this way to say that, hey, church girls love R&B, right? And they love it in a way that could be instrumental to them being healed and them being healthy and just whole individuals overall. So let's keep it moving. I'm like, this is our first time doing this. I don't want to get stuck on one song because we can talk on one song,
right? Exactly,
about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? So we're just doing this review. So let's go to We Did Wrongs, and we're doing these album reviews, so you can go check it out. And if you haven't checked it out, go check it out so we can have these discussions together. So let's get into this next song called She. Here we go.
Oh, and this was a single release. This was released before the album came out. So this is one of the singles.
Cool.
Yeah. She's, I promise you, she's the type of woman you can never play out. She's, I promise you she's the type of woman you can never play up. I don't know what you thought it was.
What you thinking, Brian?
Man. You see me over here grooving because, first of all, let's give it up for making this album so far, and even in the title, about women, okay? And the women, the church girls. So I feel like this song, he's praising women for who they are.
And I think it's strategic for it to be Women's Heritage Month. I think that's a strategic move.
I didn't think about that, Tyler, and you have a good point. That is a very good point, to celebrate women for who they are and get lit.
So, and I think we could be even equated to maybe he pulled this idea from the idea of maybe Proverbs 31, being a virtuous woman, not taking any slack or backing down from who you are as a woman. Yeah. And like you said, embracing that. All right, let's continue to dive into this one.
Nails in her head done some miles. Yeah, play with her, she gon' fuss. Cause she just needs somebody she could trust. Yeah, and she hoping it's you. She gon' hold it down, she don't want no issues. And if you break her heart, you might need a tissue. I promise it's true. She go to church on Sunday. You know she putting in that work on Monday. Yeah, God made her sweeter than honey. So she don't need nothing from me.
I'm liking these lyrics.
Yeah, I'm writing them down. Like, wait, I'm hearing him say. He talked about his. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I'm catching the rhymes, but at the same time, I don't remember. I know that the issue, tissue.
Yeah, wow.
I think some of the rhymes and just the way that he's telling the story of who this woman is like basically she got her stuff together. Yeah, she don't need you to complete her.
Exactly, she's independent because she has her own money. Or I heard him say honey or money. Then he said they go to church on Sunday, they'll hold it down on Monday. If you break her heart, you're gonna need some tissue. She's gonna hold it down. Her hair, I love how he described her hair.
Okay.
So Black women have some of the most beautiful hair. So he described, and it kind of goes with what you said, Titus, about the Proverbs 31 woman, because that also talks about, and in the Song of Solomon, the hair of a woman, how the hair is her glory, and in one of the Corinthian epistles. But it's the beauty of a Black woman's hair, whether it's long, whether it's curly, whether it's in braids, whether it's in locks, whether it's short, has a buzz cut, whatever it is, that just hit me because I could visualize like the women. And we also talked about beauty. I think this is a good point to bring out about what is beautiful, what is beauty. So, for a lot of women, a lot of men, like beauty is, well, I gotta look like this model, I gotta have this thin waist. But all women, they're beautiful in their own way. They're beautiful.
Absolutely.
They're powerful, they're independent, they're strong. So
absolutely. And I think the way that he's breaking it down is pretty much letting us know, for those women that are doing it by themselves, that we see you, or those that are walking in confidence, we see you. Like for real. Takara said, this is jamming. Like this album reminds me of H-Town Ladies Edition.
Oh wow, come on, H-Town.
That's Takara, you taking us way back.
Yeah.
Way back.
And see that's the power of this, right? It's like this music is categorized as gospel, it's R&B, and it's pulling from the people that he has inspired him. And he's written for Ty East, he's written for, I think, Johnny Gill. So he has sat down with some of the legends in R&B, contemporary and 80s R&B, and he has that feel. No matter what you do, you can't separate him from that. You can't.
I'm interested to see where gospel is headed at this point, because I feel like there's going to be more art to cross. When I say crossover, I'm more so referring to a melting pot of being able to, talk about their love for God, but also talk about issues that they might have or issues that they might see that we might see collectively on a whole album, but because we don't know exactly where to put it, or because I've been known as a gospel artist forever, that I'm going to remain gospel, but I still have these other issues that I want to talk about.
Kind of like what they call it, genre bending. It's very genre.
Maybe that's what did they call it, genre bending? That's what's up.
I like the accent that just came out, but yeah, genre bending is like it's categorized as this, but when you listen to it, it's more than just that. It's you know, it's more. It's more. It touches all other genres.
Listen, that's the thing. That's the thing that I'm anxious to see. Like, what is it going to look like? Like, and I think even when, I'll say that for later. Yes, I'm hoping for a crossover because okay, Takar said yes, I'm hoping for a crossover because it's getting pretty boring to me. Other creativity and the pool from all different genres. Absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely. Yes, Madam Secretary. She said really okay. Okay, so here we go. Let's dive into it. We got to keep this moving, y'all. We can't give away the whole album.
And Tyson, I want to hear like, I know Takara and Madam Secretary are giving, you know, their input and their thoughts, but I also want to hear what you all have to say, the women in the chat. What do you feel as this being an album or song that highlights women, Black women, women in general, and their contribution to society, what heartbreak feels like? What do you think so far of Jor'Dan's take on telling a woman's story? It seems like he's given a platform for a woman to tell her story, but he's also owning up to his flaws as a man and hurting her, but also kind of giving her homage. Like, I know I hurt you, but you are still, you know, God's prized possession. So it's kind of a juxtaposition. So I just want to hear from them a little bit more on what they feel as the women from the album.
Okay, I'm gonna give them time to chime in. I'm pretty sure they got some words to say while they're gathering their thoughts. Let's get into this next joint, Emotions.
Emotions make you cry sometimes.
Absolutely. Here we go. Let me say that he's staying true to the R&B theme for sure.
Staying true, yes, sir.
For sure. And I think it's interesting. Well, not interesting. I think it's cool to see him in this lane and remain consistent in it, because I feel like in the Blessed album, it was a mix of things.
Yeah, you're right. You're right on that.
It was still R&B inspirational, but I still feel like some of it could have been pop-ish.
Yeah.
Some of it could have been just different, but it wasn't straight this groove. This, I don't want to say, for lack of a better word, maybe Jodeci feel is on here. The Genuine feel is on here. H-Town feel is on here. Who else could we say this album is kind of giving those vibes from 1990s?
Guy, Drew Hill, all of them, all 112. But I want to say that this is Jor'Dan Armstrong. Blessed was a melting pot, but this is him. This has been him from day one. He hasn't really faltered or wavered from this at all. Like you said, with Blessed is a mixing pot, but the heart of Jor'Dan, he says it on Blessed. He says, I think on the first track, he's like, in my room, I listened to R&B and hip hop in the 90s. He starts listing people. He starts naming those different groups. And so this is just him. And please stay like this, Jor'Dan. So I'm glad you said that, Titus. Stay true to this, because so many people are blessed by it, including myself. Like, stay true to this.
That's what's up. All right, cool. Let's get into Emotions. Here we go.
Okay.
Did you have something else? You get?
No, I was about to say, dang, what's the song we on? Thank you for
Emotions. We on Emotions. This is number 4, Emotions. All right, here we go.
Or you tried it. You can't even look her in her face. She know you lying. You know she's in an emotional space. She's been crying. This kind of feeling just won't go away. Feels like she's dying. God knows she's trying not to go on off the deep end. You've been sneaking and creeping. It's funny how she just seeing through you.
Okay. So
I'm worship. I'm in worship. I'm
Are
in
you
worship
in
right
worship?
now. Yep.
Okay.
I
Why are
love
you
this.
in
Nope.
worship?
Nope. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm in worship, and I say that because for me, you know how a lot of times worship makes a sanctuary for people. Worship music, R&B for me is that. R&B creates a sanctuary for me, and what I mean by that is I feel at home. I feel heard.
Okay.
I feel not ostracized for what I feel or think about the world and life. When a lot of times the church does make you feel that way. So R&B gives me a place where I can just let the guard down, relate, and allow this space sounds spiritual, guys, but allow God to come into my space and I can commune with God and myself. So I'm in, this is my sanctuary. Jor'Dan, what a way to tell this story, man. You lying out there, you cheating, you creeping. Like, bruh, get yourself together. This girl is crying because of you.
So true. So true. And I think he's still staying in his storyline, right?
Still staying in that storyline.
He went from Keisha to the wrongs. Like, I know I did you wrong. Then he built her back up to say she is this, and then he goes to almost like that third party, that person that's looking in to see that, hey, you're doing her wrong. Like, what are you doing? You had an aha moment.
Yeah, but I had a second high moment too, because it's almost like he is the third party, but I'm wondering if he's the third party and he's reflecting on how he has treated her. So you know how you kind of metacognitively you think back and say, "Ooh, I did do that. Oh, you did do that, bro," or looking in the mirror and saying that. So that's the epiphany that I had. But then also is that concept albums. I think R&B and pop artists and writers are good at creating concept albums. So what I mean by saying that is that you have an idea, breakup, inspiration. But this is a conceptual album. So it's not all over the place. It's not, oh, let's sing this, let's see this. No, this is the idea. And this is what Titus has said a lot in our lyric talk. In his lyric talk show that I've been a guest on, is that this is the idea, stay true to the idea. All the songs you're writing from revolve around this idea. Absolutely. So whether you're taking a point of view this way or you're looking that way, this song is looking from up. Another song may be looking from the bottom up, but making sure that all the songs, what Ty's just said, sticks to the storyline. So we may get it resolved by the end. So we don't know. We in the thick of it right now.
Absolutely. Takar says it's pretty cool to hear the male's version of what he sees as the woman's hurt, and at the same time blessing her to know that just because we didn't work, she doesn't have to give up on love.
Oh, I love that, Takar.
Right. Listen to this album gives me hope that love still exists in revealing the truth.
Woo, and come on.
That is, I mean, that's a good observation. It's like he's giving you, even in these 4 songs, he was giving these relationship type of experiences that people are living through every day. You know what I'm saying? And in a way, he's allowing people to tap into maybe some emotions that they've never experienced before, or be okay with where they are. That, hey, if he's writing about this, he's literally writing my story. And I think a lot of times we as songwriters, especially, let me say the songwriters that grew up in church. We have been limited. We have limited ourselves in writing because we have equated everything having to be a certain way. Right. And I think having this idea that it has to be this way and it has to be writing in this angle, that we miss out on first tapping into our own emotions because we don't want to deal with what we want to deal with. And then secondly, we miss out on the opportunity to create inspiration or be a pivotal point to somebody else's healing through our own transparency.
Yeah. Those are good points, Titus. Very good points.
All right, I want to listen to this more. Let's go.
All right, cool.
Here we go.
Emotions.
Never express the feelings to you. Cause you tore them in two. All it took was a phone call. Just tell her how you feel and say it's my fault. She used to confine in you. Now she looking out, she can't find you. You let goes too. Man, she believed in you. Now I say, oh, you made your choice and you gotta go.
Like the melody lines are so cool to me. Like I'm trying to gauge what the top line is, but I think when you do R&B,
that's
the top line or the motif can be anywhere as long as you're saying your 8 bars, right?
yeah.
But I think he's found a way, like for what I remember in the first time listening. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's not the regular what you have in pop. You know what I'm saying? It's still. I was talking about in this Pin and Heart on Monday night because I've been teaching them one way to write, but the way that I've been teaching them is really the beginner's way. But at the end of the day, music is a pattern.
Yeah, we talked
So if you
about
can
that.
create this simple pattern, then you can build to have more extravagant patterns so that you can become a better or a more elaborate songwriter. And I think the key when we're songwriting, or if you're learning how to songwrite, if you don't know the basics, then you can't be extravagant, or it's hard to be extravagant because you can't really explain what's actually taking place.
Most definitely. The fundamentals of songwriting.
Absolutely.
You know what? I'm going to still say that his third person point of view can also be taken as him talking to himself.
Okay.
Either or, but I like when he talked about, why don't you just give her a call? Give her a call. She wants to hear you. You actually, fess up to it that you did her wrong.
You mean be honest?
Be honest. And he's almost like coaching either himself or the guy that he's talking to, his friend, kind of coaching her, and it also giving him some input on how this is a generalization, my ladies, generalization of how women feel and how they communicate, how they take in communication. And I don't want to say that it's very patriarchal and very misogynistic of him to do that, but I will stick true to the fact that a lot of women love words. They want to be affirmed. There's power in the words for a woman. It touches her in a certain place where a lot of men is like, okay, yeah, you love me, I just want your respect. So this song brings up conversations on how women communicate to men and how men communicate to women when it comes to dating and relationships.
I think you kind of just turned the corner, like not in a bad way either, but I think from what I've discovered about women, right, they love words because they are words. I say that because women, what I've learned about relationships is that women, they have the gift of words, so they communicate in a word manner. Right? Men look for action. Like women looking for, like we're looking, here's the thing. Well, let me say it this way, because I think I may have said it backwards. We look for the words of a woman, right? But women look from action from men. Yeah. And so when we talk their language, or we talk
the love language,
you know what I'm saying? We ignite something in them, you know what I'm saying? And that's just my observation.
Wow, this we may have to have a
part two.
She said. Yeah, he said she said of this. He said he said Absolutely. She said when it comes to dating, because this is real life. This is real life, and sometimes ego gets in the way. No, I'm not calling her. No, I'm not calling her.
Absolutely.
No, what can I say to her? I messed up.
Right.
That's what she wants to hear. She wants to hear you say that and fess up. The action is what Titus is talking about. This is a good song.
And be able to communicate how you feel, and I think that's a thing that men don't do. Yeah. We feel safe to do.
Exactly.
In a lot of environments, whether it's with a female or just in brotherhood, that is like we don't, not that we don't have the words, it's hard to express and be able to articulate what emotionally what we're trying to say.
And that's not a sign of weakness. That's not a sign of weakness.
It
It's a
really
sign of
isn't.
strength and
Absolutely.
emotional maturity. Emotional
Absolutely.
maturity. So like being emotional, having emotional intelligence, a part of that is knowing yourself and how you communicate best to someone when you're triggered,
Absolutely.
when you're hurt, when you're wrong. Man, can we go on with this?
Let's go. That's gonna be the whole
Dude,
different
I'm
topic. All right.
sorry. I'm sorry. Like,
We
woo!
gonna listen. We have to have a separate lyric talk where we just have songs that touch on emotions.
And like, can I say one more thing? And just
Yeah.
like I usually tell people, I'm sorry, I cut you off, and I just cut Titus off. So just that one example.
Yeah.
Sorry, Titus, I cut you off. What were you trying to say?
Absolutely.
What were you trying to say, Titus?
I don't remember. I'm going with the flow. I'm looking at this part from Takara now.
What's up, Takara?
I feel like you can't church in everything. Sometimes we put God as the band-aid instead of feeling what these feelings are and calling it what it is. Stop churching these feelings.
Girl.
Listen, I agree. All right, let's move on to the next song, guys. We got 6 songs left, and I want to make sure that we get them all in the next 20 minutes here. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I know you've heard it all. I know I be wildin'. Why you love me through it all? I gotta know it. I gotta know it. You keep showing up for me. You got perfect timing. Why you love me through it all? I gotta know it. I gotta know it. I'ma keep it 100.
Listen, Ryan, this is a relationship album through and through.
Yeah.
Like this is and maybe this is the album where he's like, you know what, I'm gonna put it in the gospel section because maybe he equates it to like the Book of Solomon, having these songs or that are relationship songs. Maybe because we've heard 5 songs and they're all about relationship, about her hurting, about her seeing her, who looking at who she is as a woman. Now we have another aspect of basically she's forgiving him. Like I've been wilding out, but you loving me through all my BS.
Don't they always not? Hold on, let me laugh this out real quick. Okay. Women, a lot of the times, they sacrifice their emotions to wait for men to grow up.
Okay.
So while we, and this is not me saying this only, this has been the narrative that a lot of women have said. Even Beyonce in her album Lemonade, she talks about how like when Jay-Z cheated on her with Becky with the blonde hair or whatever type of hair, good hair.
Better call Becky with the good hair.
Okay. While he was doing that, she was hurting and waiting for him to mature. So a lot of the times women, they are sacrificing, they're holding us down. First of all, when we're in a relationship, our women are not our mothers. That's number one. For sure. So they don't have to baby us. They don't have to do all that. But a lot of times that's what happens because men don't mature as fast as women. And a lot of men are still in a place of immaturity and bachelorhood. But I also want to say that I like this album because I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings. Because a lot of times when gospel artists do love albums like this, it totally flops.
You think so?
I think so because it's like, yo, what are you talking about? Why are you saying this?
Are you bold enough to name an album that flopped?
I dare not. Look, that's why I said I'll make some people mad. They ain't going that far.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Ain't going that far, but we have had a history. I'll talk about those that did do well, including Kim Burrell. Her Love album was a pretty good R&B album. It was 10 out of 10 for me.
Okay. But the
but
church didn't think so.
they didn't, and that's why, and that's exactly why, because the church is not used to church musicians and artists being sexy, talking about sex,
Mm,
talking about love in a way that is not scriptured or
mm,
not scripted or
mhm,
not controlled.
mhm.
And Jordan Armstrong is not being controlled right now. He is definitely like for the single. I can hear this is for single people, and I can hear this for married couples. I can hear it for
Absolutely.
both type of people. So I'm going to be bumping this.
For sure. It kind of gives me that feel of now that we're talking about this relationship. I think it was Pastor Mike Jr.
Yeah, he did that singles album.
Yes, the singing. It reminds me of the single from that singles album. Basically,
Mhm.
like, I'm gonna do this for my ex, and my ex gonna see me. I was like, bet, you know what I'm
I
saying?
love
And
it.
I think
Yes.
where we are, people just want to talk about life stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yes, scripture will give you tools, you know what I'm saying? But people are at the point where we don't want to be church all day. And I know those are watching like, why y'all keep on talking about this stuff? Because I feel like
Yes.
we're in that transitional period where people want
Yeah.
God, but they also want adequate advice on how to deal with life issues without being religious and churchy, because everybody was not raised in church, and you cannot
Mhm.
put everybody in the same box, just like you just can't put everybody listen to quartet music all day or listen to country music. Like, I believe the God that we serve is so vast that he's going to reach people where they are and pull them in the way they need to go for the perfecting of who they are at the end of the day.
Amen. Let the church say yeah. Oh, sorry, I went churchy.
Yeah.
Went churchy. I'm gonna say let the people out there say, hey. Okay.
Wow. Okay, so
So
Takara said this sounds like you remind me of my Jeep.
not gonna go there.
Oh my.
Carl,
And
not
then
gonna go there, girl.
but she said, but let TD Jakes do a love album. Satin Sheet Slide, please. Whatever.
Hmm.
TD Jakes could probably get away with doing a love album for
I,
sure.
he's done with those. He's done it, and he's done it before. And I remember Karen Clark-Sheard doing Inseparable. I think she did a cover of
Did
Inseparable.
she really?
Yeah, and she actually performed it on Praise the Lord TBN when I was watching TBN
Okay.
years ago. I remember her doing it. Who said that?
Yeah.
Takara?
Yeah, she said it. Yeah.
So can I say this, Takara? You bring up a good point, because in the history of gospel artists doing love albums or relationship based albums, TD Jakes probably was the first pastor, one of the first pastors, I feel, to have done something like that. So thanks for bringing that up.
For sure. All right, we let's go with Grace. This is number 6, Grace. Here we go.
Hey. Oh God, I need a favor, Lord. I know I keep coming back with the same old stuff. In your word, you said that you wouldn't change on us, and I believe it, but I keep on changing up. Oh, but somehow I can remember when we're looking out for me, changing up stories, and you're always making a way. 'Cause in every story,
We just reviewed this, right?
Yep, I was about to say we reviewed it on Sunday.
We reviewed this song on Sunday. So if y'all want to, I'm gonna skip this one. So I make y'all go watch the Lyric Talk. That just we're pre-recorded on Sunday, but it's actually up on my YouTube channel and my Facebook, Titus Glenn. Go check out Grace, and we did a good 20-minute talk, 15-20-minute talk around those lyrics, etc. So we're gonna keep it moving, and let's go to you, Jor'Dan Armstrong. Here we go.
every time I hit your line, you come through on time. Everything you cross my mind, you and me, everything's alright. Need you right by my side, always. They don't show the love you show me. Ain't no need to keep it low key. That's exactly why I need you. When I call you, I know you coming. Yeah. Now I need you to come and run it. Yeah. I can make it up.
Come on, I like this track already.
I like that. Yes.
What
Stood by my side.
What was the first word he said? I didn't catch that first
I
line.
didn't catch that. I caught that line when he said "stood by my side." That's the
Okay.
only.
What's his first word though? Hold on.
Every time I hit your line,
Every time I what?
Every time I need your love, every time I eat, it's almost like he said eat, but I don't want to say he said eat.
Let
One
me
more
see.
time.
every time I hit your line, you come through on time. Every
Okay.
Did you catch it?
No, because that no, because that E every time I eat your love. So is it he's saying love? We don't know. We have to look that or
Yeah, because at first I thought he was saying every time I eat your lie. I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
right. Or does
Or does it? I'm gonna listen to it one more time. We gonna keep it moving.
every time I hit your line, you come through on time. Everything you cross my mind, you and me, everything's alright.
I didn't catch it. Did you catch it?
I kind of with you.
He
every time I
said,
eat your lie.
Takara saying every time I hit your line.
Oh, thanks, Takara. You come through. Come on through, Takara.
Every time I hit your line, I was like, what is
That
he
see,
saying?
okay. Oh, so remember, y'all, when you were saying an H word, you have to overemphasize that H. But again, this is not classical music. This is not gospel music. This is R&B. So
Right.
Takara, you got some good ears, girl. Because I was like, ooh.
And I mean, but this song is pretty much saying whoever you're talking to,
I like that.
they showing up regardless of what's
Loyal.
going on.
Loyal.
Always there. So this
Always
chick,
there.
you know, this chick is loyal. I'm gonna fast forward through some of this song to see what this end is like to get a better synopsis of what he's saying. Here we go.
Need you right by my side, always. They don't show the love you show me. Ain't no need to keep it low key. This is
That part right there, low key, basically like why we hiding. Why I'm gonna hide who you are to me.
Tell the world.
Tell the world. Here we go.
I need you. Oh, it's crazy. I really can't believe we made it. The kind of love that I can't play with. Thought of you, I can't shake it. You got me loving.
Yeah, this album is pretty much it. You think it's giving you? Is it giving you David and Tamala Mann?
No, no, you did not bring that up.
Because mess that all the way up.
Anyway, I'm gonna act like Tyler, you did not say that. But listen,
But they did a love album though.
I know. But you know what? With them, not with them, but with Jor'Dan, thinking about the story that he's telling. So the beginning of the album, we have the scenario where Keisha is being hurt by him or the male in the relationship, and then he's going through talking about grace. God, I need your grace because I've messed up. And then now it's almost like he's come to realize that the one that he hurt she's been there, she's dependable. While I messed up, she's loyal. And it's almost so we're now resolving is a resolution coming towards the end of this big storyline of relationship and hurt and heartbreak.
Absolutely.
What does reconciliation look like? And ladies, do you always take your man back if he hurts you?
Listen,
it sounds like she
is basically this whole album is a conversation of hurt, maybe I don't want to say abuse because it's not abuse, but more so if it is abuse, more so abusing what you had and not really knowing what you had until it's gone or almost out the door.
Yep.
And so he's hitting these angles to say, hey, this is what this is at every angle, whether you cheated on her or you lying or she's taking you back and you've been wilding out, but she's still loving on you. Takara said almost like a marriage song, he proposed to her and no need to hide.
Oh wow.
That could be it too.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got a couple more minutes. Let's try to knock these last three out. So here's Can't. And this, according to Spotify, this is almost at 1 million plays. So was this a single by chance? Do you know? Can't.
I don't remember. Hold on.
It was. It
It
was.
was okay. Because I was like, maybe it was.
Yes,
I'm
it
trying to.
was.
I don't look at it. I usually think of that. Yeah, it is because it's on YouTube. I used to think of like artwork, and that helps me remember if it was a single. Okay.
Here we go. Here's Can't.
Yeah. Ooh, oh, hey, what I try to do it my way. Yeah, even though you provide it, don't seem to understand why I can't get it right. Yeah. I be in my feelings and I can't get it right. You tell.
All right, let's get. I just stopped it for the sake of this algorithm not blocking us. But let me let me keep this going. Here we go.
Keep going, everything will be alright. Oh, why you can't stand to see me tight, and you always right. It got me saying, how many times have I called and you come through? So many times you forgave what I done. You highs and lows, but I'm the one you chose. That's why.
I think this could be the one that's the gospel song on the album.
Yeah, and these lyrics are online because it does have that double entendre of, again, like the previous track is realizing that, you've been wrong or haven't been faithful, but the other party, the other entity in the relationship has done that for you,
Right.
regardless. But I think the difference between this song Can't and what was the one previous?
The one song before Can't was You.
Okay. So if I could, I would have liked to see these two songs as one as a hyphenated or a slash song. So like
Okay.
how you have slash, like they're two songs combined in one track. So like you slash can't, because I'm trying to still figure out how you and how can't, how they're different. Right now, you and can't have the same message. They just
Absolutely.
have different beats to it, different
Absolutely.
production. So I would have liked to have heard like them in the same track, two songs in one track with a different interlude to kind of make it a different feel or leading into the feel of Can't. But I would like to hear something creative on the spin of it. So yeah.
I think where it is, Brian, I think the You song is basically like, I need you by my side. You've been there through the thick and the thin of it. I think the way that is written is more of, this is that relationship song where you've been here, you love me, like you love me in a way that I can't get that love from anybody else, even though, because we've been in church, we can still equate that to you is God. But in the way that he's written it, in my opinion, it's obvious that he's talking to his counterpart, a relationship that he's with.
Which
Like,
okay.
but when you get to can't, you know what I'm saying? Even though I see where you're saying is like that can't is like, I can't do this without you, God sense. It's a God connotation to it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how many times that I could have busted my behind, but you gave me grace
Mm-hmm.
to, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the way that the verbiage of it in Can't, it pulls you more towards that who he's talking to is God, versus
Mm-hmm.
when he's doing the You, is talking to that person that he's, like Takara said, trying to propose to, or
Mm.
trying to, pretty much, we're not gonna hide this love that I have for you.
Now that's the distinction I'm looking for. That small distinction. And I like that they're back to back. And I see what you're saying to Titus. To Cara, what she's saying, I see that. I'm glad she said that distinction. They're so closely related. And I'm wondering if he did that on purpose. Because while you're talking about in the lyrics for You, is that what you said? The lyrics for You, that can be a horizontal relationship.
Mhm.
And then the lyrics for Can't is more of a vertical relationship.
Mhm.
And I think that maybe if I'm hearing what you all are saying, and I'm going to use that premise, is that he put them side by side because they're one and the same thing.
Mhm.
So if I'm saying that I want you to marry me, that love is reflected in the love that I have for God as well. And
That
it's,
too.
even though it's separate, it's still one of the same thing, because my love for God is reflected in my love for you.
Absolutely. Cool. Something to marinate on for sure. For sure. We have to bring that up because, like, I think even when we're writing songs, something I've talked earlier on in Pit and Heart is learning how to write horizontal and then learning how to write vertical,
Mhm.
because that there is a difference. There is a difference.
In the blurring of the lines is so, to me, the lines here between these two songs are very evident. It's very
Mhm.
evident. The lines are very blurred in a good way. In a
Mhm.
good way, that, again, the same verbiage that I use for my loved one, the one that
Mhm.
I'm romantically involved with, those are the same words that I use to communicate with God a lot of times too.
Right.
So I hate to take this turn. So, thinking in relationships, the way you treat your loved one, be mindful that you're treating God the same way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if I don't call you, I ain't got time for you, I'm out there running game on you.
Absolutely.
Or if I love you, I'm dining you, I'm listening and spending time with
Absolutely.
you. That is a reflection of, or can be the lack of, the relationship I have with God. All right, I'm good.
Takara says she's going to step out and say, creatively, he probably did it on purpose to make you think spiritually and human.
Amen.
I love to play on words, spiritually human. Be on the lookout for. I'm gonna put this plug in. Spiritually
That's
human.
right.
From Titus Glenn. It's coming, y'all.
Hey.
But I think that's key. Like what he said, the way that he has it back to back, you could still look at those songs as that play of it's horizontal, but then we could flip it to be that vertical experience.
Mhm.
All right, y'all. Let's go to us. Here we go.
What's up?
Hey,
I take it you got my message.
yeah.
How you feeling about us?
Can you pause
I
this?
mean, like, I don't think you lied.
What's up?
Oh my God, just how that beat came in, y'all. That music. Oh my gosh, it just takes me in. It's taking me in because it's like, dang, this is what I'm talking about. This is that R&B. This is that good stuff.
Is that
Man,
is it? It's put me in the mind. It's put me in that mind of make it last forever.
Johnny Gill and them, ain't it?
Yes.
So, man. All right, man. I'm blessed. I'm blessed by this. I'm so blessed by this.
I'm gonna leave that there because that track is only a minute and 39 seconds. So we want y'all to go check out that full track. And it sounds like they are
conversation.
It sounds like they're having a conversation. And because they're it appears as though he's wrapping up this album that he goes from Keisha calling her girlfriend. So now we're at this point at the end to where they're having a conversation, or maybe about the other things that he's talked through in the middle of it, whether he's looked at himself, she keep on taking them back. Because again, if you listen to the first track, she tells her girlfriend he did it again. And I think we're now at the tail end where he's having this other conversation with her about where they are. Yeah, Brian.
You know what?
Is it Key? Oh, he said it's Key Sweat. Is Key Sweat make it last forever?
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Who was that? Takar.
Yeah,
but you know
Takar.
what? It when, and this goes for any type of romantic relationship, don't take this, because a part of this comes off to me as a cookie cutter story, right? It's he cheated on whoever, and she doesn't say cheated, I don't think, but he did it again, so we can assume and insinuate that this is a cheating.
No, they said cheated at the beginning. Yeah,
because of the text messages, right, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the cheating, it gives me cookie cutter. Okay, he's cheated. What am I gonna do? And then he's like, it kind of gives me that this is a storyline that's been told. And granted, this is in the gospel music industry, so it's brand new and it's cutting edge, and I love it. One thing I want to say is that women, you know, if your loved one has been cheating on you a lot, the Christian thing has been, you know, work with him, forgive him. And I want to let you all know, sometimes you don't need to do that. Okay. If it's a domestic,
you forgive, you still need to
forgive, but it doesn't mean you have to stay in a situation that has been damaging to you.
Absolutely.
So be mindful of, and then, you know, if he's being verbally abusive, or if he's constantly cheating on you, the Christian thing has been for women, which has been also damaging in my opinion, has been, you know what, stick in there. God's going to do it. You stay there. He's going to, you know, God may save him through you. But I want you to be realistic and prayerful and think about what type of situation you're in. Okay. That's why I wanted to say this, because it does give me a cookie cutter. The woman has been cheating on a lot, and now she is forgiving again, and it's now ending good. It's now ending good. But there are situations where it doesn't end like this, but you can build a life again. So that's kind of my critique a little bit, I think, of this album.
I understand it. I understand it. And I think, to add to what you're saying, Brian, I think when, especially going through when you're married and walking through a divorce, because I'm walking through that recently, it's a conversation that you got to have with yourself. And if whatever is going on in your relationship, you have to judge where you are in that, and don't tie it to what other people are doing, because you got to know your relationship versus if it's going to work for you. Because what works for you may not work for somebody else, and what's tolerable to somebody else may not be tolerable for you. So I think, you know, in adding on to what Brian said, if your spouse is cheating, you have to judge what's going on in your situation, and then make your decision based upon that and nobody else's.
Yeah. Just keeping it real, y'all. Just keeping it real.
All right, let's do this last one, and then we're gonna wrap it up. We appreciate everybody that's logged in and out of this review of Jor'Dan Armstrong. Please, guys, if there are other albums that you want us to review, please inbox me and let me know, so we can have these conversations around these albums, and just keep the lyric talk movement happening, because you know what, lyrics, they do matter. And this is the conversation that we are, you know, launching this community of, you don't have to be a songwriter to love lyrics. You know, think about the song that you actually listen to on a regular basis. If you're not a songwriter, you can take those lyrics with you to work and put them on a poster board and have inspiration all day, every day.
Yes.
So let's hop into this last song in. Here we go.
You know it's a vibe when we alone. No, it took some time, but we made it. Must admit that you always held it down, and you've been waiting for me to get home. Swear this type of love, you can't fake it.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Brian. I mean, basically, it sounds like after the us talk, and he's writing this in, basically like we made it through that dysfunction of what was happening in our relationship. And I'm gonna play 30 more seconds, and then we can talk some more.
Depending on me, to get my all, and you play your role every time I put on a show. When it comes to love, I know you're able. I promise I know. Ready to drown in your love, I'm all in it. Feeling so deep, it's like I'm falling. Whoa, I'm falling. Whoa, I'm falling deep in love. Ain't no way at all.
What you thinking, Brian?
I'll be honest. I'm thinking. I don't know. Let me say this the right way. Um, for some reason, most of the songs, I know what Jor'Dan is saying, what he's articulating, and I can understand what the words that are coming out.
Okay.
This song, maybe because of the bass, I can't. There were just words I'm pulling out, and I can understand those words, but those full thoughts. So I'm gonna need your help, Titus, Takara, everybody, Madam Secretary, in the chat to break down what he's saying.
Okay. I did hear, I understand what you're saying because I'm following along, grabbing bits and pieces. And the first line I heard was, "Look how far we made it," or "we made it," which was my indicator that, hey, I know what this song means based upon the album outline, and what we've just discussed is, and the song title is that we're in this. But I'm gonna back it up and see if we can just go back.
Look, back it up for me so I can understand.
Here we go. Here we go.
Love and took it home. Swear this type of love you can't fake it.
This type of love you can't fake it. Okay.
Depending on me, to give my all. And you play your
Depending on me to give my all.
Okay.
And then he goes to say, and you played basically like you remain the same.
every time I put on
You played your role every time I put on the show.
When it comes to love, I know you're able. I promise I know. Ready to drown in your love, I'm all in it. Feeling so deep, it's like I'm falling. Whoa, I'm falling. Whoa, I'm falling. Falling deep in love.
So finally, falling deep in love.
Okay.
Said, I'm
wow.
too. I think
okay.
Is this notion of that I'm in love. Hold on. Let me move to the end.
I agree.
Must admit that you always held it down. And you've been waiting for me to get home. Swear this type of love you can't fake it.
I guess this is the chorus.
Type of love you can't fake.
Depending on me, to give my all. And you play your role every time I put on a show. When it comes to love, I know you're able. I promise I know. Ready to drown in your love, I'm all in it.
Okay. So yeah, to summarize this song is that he knows he's in love. He's not looking outside of this love anymore. He's dedicated. He's loyal at this moment and in this time. He knows now what he needs to give to the relationship. He's willing to do it. He's willing to give.
Right.
He recognizes what he did not give before, but now in this song, he recognizes what he needs to do.
Right. That part.
Okay. It's true to R&B, right? R&B has these messages of, I'm in love, but like I said before, it does follow a narrative, a very familiar narrative. I have a question. My question is, where do you go from here, Jor'Dan? When I talk about like discography of artists, I think of what album came before and what album came after. A lot of the times artists give us where they're headed by the last song. Or
you think so?
Sometimes, by the end of, sometimes they do. By the end of the last song of the album or the album itself, it can kind of point us towards what could be coming up. I would like to venture to say that I'd like to hear a part 2 to this. I'd like to hear maybe another storyline. That's all I'll say right now. I'd like to hear what happens when things are messy and it's not as clear cut for church girls who love R&B. What would happen if church dudes love R&B? What would that sound like? Okay, I'm done.
I think, you might have a point there, Brian. I think if anything, if your resolution or your thesis is correct, then where he's leading us is in another relationship album, to
Could
talk
be.
about maybe another side of relationships, maybe the good times and how we're standing and working things out in a different way together. And I got me, you got, what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I think if you're right, what I'm saying, I think that's going to be the direction that he will probably go, and more so maybe more relationships like with mom, dad, sister, brother,
Hmm.
and just keeping that realm open since he's already opened up the door to talk about to make a whole album, basically on a relationship album, which has maybe one gospel song.
Hmm.
I think that's in it. That's where he's headed. Takara said, "I can see a woman answering this album."
That's
Now that would
cool.
be cool if he did a deluxe and
Yep.
maybe Kiara come in and do,
Oh,
some sing-alongs, or talk
Corn
about
Hawthorne or Doe.
Corinne Hart.
No.
I don't know if Corinne might be able to. I guess this is her element, the
Mm.
R&B vibe. So I could see her doing that. I wonder what would Coco do, SWV?
Hmm.
And she would come and rock something like that, or Fantasia. Will Fantasia do?
Mhm. I think there's no limits for these artists, but the context too. I know that Jor'Dan Armstrong, he's not a newlywed, I don't think anymore, but he is married, and so coming to this album with fresh eyes, but also experience, I feel like is also a plus for him. If I were to rate, don't rate this album, Brian. Give your thoughts. So, so man, I enjoyed this album. I'll just be honest. I enjoyed listening to it, with you all, Titus, and with the whole the rest of the gang. I enjoyed listening to this, and I hope it opens up more doors for other artists to sing about topics as such,
Absolutely.
and to have conversations, real conversations,
Absolutely.
that talk about love, relationship, and you know all the goodies that come with it, and all the bad things that may have come with it.
Absolutely. So y'all, that's been our edition of just doing a review on an album, our first review on a live, concerning a full album.
Woohoo.
So y'all be on the lookout for other reviews and other talks and other discussions. If you haven't checked out Lyric Talk, go check out Lyric Talk. It's already on YouTube as we speak, and there'll be another one next week. So guys, we're ready to head out. If you haven't done so already, also go check out Jordan Armstrong's new album called Church Girls Love R&B. So if nothing else, guys, I'm Titus Glenn, and this is my
Hey,
host.
Brian Bryant, what's going on? Have a
All
good
right.
night.
And we'll see you guys later.